Hello students, welcome to the video of 7th General Science. In the last video, we have started chapter number 6, Motion, Force and Work. And in the chapter, we have discussed about the distance and the displacement. We know that distance is a measure of the space between two places, where displacement is the minimum distance traversed by an object, that is called the displacement. Distance has no direction and displacement has a direction. So distance is a scalar quantity and displacement is a vector quantity. Distance cannot be 0, but displacement can be 0. So this is the difference between distance and the displacement. Now we are going to start the new quantity. Next quantity we are going to discuss is the speed. We heard this word speed. The speed of the bike was 60 km per hour. We traveled at a speed of 100 km per hour, or train runs at the speed of 110 km per hour. So that is the speed. So speed is a quantity which shows how fast object is moving. So speed is the just shows, that quantity shows the fastness of the object. Speed is a distance covered by an object in given time. Means when we consider the speed, first we consider the distance covered by that object, moving object, and second quantity we consider is the time. If the speed of the vehicle is more, then it takes lesser time to reach the another point, and if the speed of the vehicle is slow, then it takes much more time to reach the destination point. So speed is the combination of distance and the time. So you might have seen this type of speedometer in your vehicle, and it shows speed of your vehicles. If the reading of this speedometer is showing 80 kilometers 80, then it means that your vehicle will cover 80 kilometer distance in 1 hour. If it shows 120, then it means that your vehicle will cover 120 kilometer in 1 hour. This shows how much distance will your vehicle cover in 1 hour. If it shows 40 kilometer, then it will cover 40 kilometer in 1 hour. Means it shows speed of your vehicle. So as I told you, speed is a quantity which consider by two quantities, that is the distance and the time. So the formula to find the speed of an vehicle is equal to distance upon time. Means if we divide the distance by the time taken, then we can find out what is the speed of an vehicle or moving object. Let's take an example. Suppose the distance covered by an object is 100 meters, mean 1 kilometer, and the time taken to cover that 1000 meter is 100 second. So if we divide 1000 by 100, then we will get 10 meter per second. Meter per second is the unit of the speed. So speed of the vehicle which cover 1 kilometer in 100 seconds, then the speed of that vehicle is 10 meter per second. So as I told you, speed is equal to distance upon time required. What is the time required in second, or distance may taken in meter or kilometer. So distance we can calculate in meter, and time we calculate in seconds or hour. So the formula of the speed will be meter per second or kilometer per hour. If we take the distance in meter, then the formula will be meter per second, and if we take the distance in kilometer, then the formula will be kilometer per hour. So the speed has magnitude only and no direction, and we know that if the quantity has magnitude only and no direction, then we call that quantity scalar quantity. So we can tell only the magnitude, 100 kilometer per hour, 80 kilometer per hour, 90 kilometer per hour. So we express the magnitude and tells no direction. Due to this, the speed is a scalar quantity because we cannot specify the direction in which object is moving. So due to that, speed is a scalar quantity. So now we have seen that the speed is a scalar quantity because it has no direction. It is the distance covered by an object in unit time, and it has unit meter per second or kilometer per hour. Next quantity we are going to learn is the velocity. Velocity and speed are nearly same. So let's take an example. Suppose a vehicle moves from point A to D. So the distance between A to B is 20 kilometer, B to C is 30 kilometer, and C to D is 10 kilometer. Now when the vehicle starts from A, then it covers 20 kilometer up to B, then 30 kilometer from B to C, and 10 kilometer from C to D. So what is the displacement of this vehicle? We know that it is 20 kilometer plus 30 kilometer plus 10 kilometer. So this vehicle covered the displacement of 60 kilometer. Here distance and displacement are same because displacement is a minimum distance between starting point and end point. So distance is also 60 kilometer and displacement is also 60 kilometer. Now we are going to consider the velocity of an object. So velocity is the displacement covered by an object in unit time. So this vehicle covers the distance of 60 kilometer in given time. So we can find the velocity of this car by the formula displacement upon time for the displacement. What is the displacement in kilometers? 60 kilometer. In this example, it covers the displacement of the 60 kilometer. And what is the time required for the displacement in hour or seconds? It covers the distance of 60,000 meter, and it takes the time of 1 hours, mean 3600 second. The velocity of the car will be 16.66 meter per second. Or if we take the 60 kilometer, not in meter, in kilometer, and time in hour, then 60 kilometer upon 1 hour, we know that 60 upon 1 is equal to 60. Then the speed of the car will be 60 and unit kilometer per hour. So this is the velocity of the car, that is the 60 kilometer per hour. This is the formula, displacement upon time for the displacement. And what was the formula of the speed? It is the distance upon time for the time required to cover the distance. Now let's see what is the difference between the velocity and the speed. Speed is the distance covered by an object in given time, that is the speed. And what is the velocity? Velocity is the displacement covered by an object in an unit time or given time. What is the time required to complete the displacement? That is the velocity. So speed and velocity has the same unit, meter per second or kilometer per hour. These are the units which are same, but velocity is the displacement covered and speed is the distance covered. Now velocity and speed may be same if they are moving in a straight line. जर स्ट्रेट लाईन मध्ये जर मूव्ह करत असेल तर velocity आणि स्पीड सेम असेल, बट स्पीड हॅज नो डायरेक्शन अँड वेलॉसिटी हॅज डायरेक्शन. म्हणजे आपण वेलॉसिटीच्या वेळी डायरेक्शन कन्सिडर करतो. दॅट्स वाय वेलॉसिटी इज अ वेक्टर क्वांटिटी अँड वी डज नॉट कन्सिडर द डायरेक्शन ड्युरिंग स्पीड. ड्यू टू दिस स्पीड इज अ स्केलर quantity. So this is the difference. Means in case of rate of moving, both are considered, velocity and speed both are considering the rate of moving of the object, but velocity considers the direction and speed consider only rate of moving. So as I told you, velocity is a vector quantity because it considers the displacement, and displacement has direction. So velocity also has the direction. So due to this, velocity is a vector quantity. The unit of the velocity are meter per second or kilometer per hour. If we tell the distance, displacement in meter and time in second, then we need meter per second. And if we tell the displacement in kilometer and time in hour, then the unit will be kilometer per hour. Now let's take another example. Suppose body moves 10 kilometer, then 5 kilometer, then 10 kilometer, then 5 kilometer. So total distance covered by this object is 30 kilometer, and suppose it takes 1 hour to complete this 30 kilometer. So what is the speed of that object? The speed of that object will be 30 kilometer per hour. Now tell me, what is the velocity of that object? The velocity, for the velocity we consider the displacement. So can you tell me what is the displacement in this figure? The displacement of the object is 0, because displacement is the minimum distance between starting point and end point. So here what happened? The object reaches to its original position. Due to this, the displacement is 0 and the velocity of the object is also 0 kilometer per hour, because there is no displacement. So the speed of the object will never be 0, but the displacement of the object may 0. जर मूव करत आहे तर त्याची स्पीड राहील, पण डिस्प्लेसमेंट मात्र 0 होऊ शकते जर तिथं कोणतंही डिस्प्लेसमेंट झालं नाही तर. And if displacement is 0, then velocity also 0.